Hi there, I'm Jocelyn. I am the product manager for the pipeline security group here at GitLab. As a quick reminder, our team is responsible for secrets manager, third-party integrations, the GitLab native secrets manager, CI variables, and CI job token, as well as build artifacts. So I'm here today to kick off milestone 17.0. I'm super excited to share about what our team is working on in this upcoming major milestone. The first, for those who are hopefully familiar and aware, um, we have the deprecation of the old JSON web tokens. And so this was announced back in 15.9, and we are now here in 17.0. We've been prepping for the removal, and so in this coming 17.0 milestone, we will actually complete that removal. One of the other things that we're working on is actually a review of some of our design for the GitLab Native Secrets Manager. And this is really based off of the feedback that we've received so far from talking to all of our customers about the direction that we are planning on going for the architecture. And so based on that, we're iterating on our design. On the front end, we are going to continue to build out our front end for our Native Secrets Manager. We're going to continue to work on the forms for creating secrets. One of the big things that we're focusing on is going to be completing the environment dropdown. And so this will enable users to select which environments the secrets apply to. And then following that, we will get started on the access permissions, as well as user search. So as one part of the feedback that we received in terms of building our secrets manager, we want to enable more fine-grained controls. And so this includes actually limiting certain access permissions for our secrets to specific users. And so one of the outcomes of that is actually implementing a user search directly into our creation form. On the front end, one of the other things that we're going to be focused on is more work for CI job token. One of the things that we have done in the past few milestones is actually building out the back end to support the concept of adding groups directly to the project allow list. So previously, we had users had to list every single project by name. And what we're doing now is we're enabling for a whole group to be added to those projects to really help reduce on some of the manual work, as well as resolving the problem with hitting the number with the limits for how many projects that can be added to each allow list. And so as part of that, now that the back end is complete, we will be implementing the front end, as you can see here. Here's some of our designs that you can find all of these in our issue. But here specifically, you can see where we have one example of a project that was specifically added to the allow list, but here too, you can see a group is also being added to the allow list. And so while that can currently be done now on the back end, since milestone 16.10, we are adding that now to the front end for users who have that preference. This will also make it more visual for customers to understand which groups or projects have access to a specific project. The other thing, I'm going to jump into design now. One of the other things that we have been working on in terms of CI job token enablement, I'll call it, for our upcoming deprecation in 18.0 is we've also been looking at the feature to enable job token scope to be set at the group levels. Because as I mentioned, currently it is only allowed at the project level. And so our hope is, and based on the interviews that we've conducted, by enabling this at the group level, this will save our customers quite a bit of manual time and effort to set this at the higher levels. And so over the last few milestones, we've conducted quite a bit of research from our proposed solution for a job token scope. And so our designer, Bonnie, she is going to be taking all those user insights and feedback and refining this design. And so here in the next few milestones, once our design is finalized, we'll be able to start implementation of job token scopes at the group level. Another thing that we are working on, going back to our native secrets manager, is a technical survey for assignment 3. And so, as I mentioned before, we're really looking at using the feedback that we receive to iterate on our existing designs. And so as part of this, for our early adopters who have been a great group at providing inputs for our direction, we're going to send out a technical survey to really help us fill some of the technical gaps that we're still that are still left open in our design. And so that's another activity on the design side. Bonnie is incredibly busy, and one of the other items she's going to be focused on is reviewing the comments and the feedback that we've received around job logs and a retention policy for the job logs. So for those of you who have to manage storage of artifacts within GitLab, we know that the fact that job logs currently don't expire and there's no easy way of removing them is definitely a really large pain point from a storage management perspective. So one of the things we've been looking at is what should a retention policy for job logs look like? How can we automate that? And so we've been gathering feedback for roughly the past year. And Bonnie will be looking at potential solutions, and then we'll be doing solution validation to get that design finalized. And once that's finalized, we'll look at actually scheduling the work. But I know for our customers, especially with storage management and the cost of storage, this is a high priority pain point that our customers have. And so I'm really excited to see that we're going to be making some movement on this, starting with 17.0 and really finalizing that design. The last design item I would like to talk about is actually around variables. So back in milestone 16.8 and 16.9, we had what we called the macro UX improvements for CI variables. I think that was incredibly successful. And as a result of that, we are going to repeat that here in the coming year. And we're in the process of selecting high priority, high popularity items around CI variables that our customers have expressed a lot of interest in. And so as part of this exercise, we're looking at really having our designs worked out prior to kicking off the macro improvements milestones later this year. And so one specific item that Bonnie's going to be working on, which has quite popular 82 upvotes, is to actually show the variables for the manual pipelines after the pipeline has been created. And so this is something that Bonnie is going to be working on the design for. So as we get close to kicking off our macro UX improvements, we'll have all our designs ready, and the developers will be able to work heads down and get these items implemented. So a lot of really big things coming here in 17.0 across the various categories and features for pipeline security. And I'm really looking forward to the outcomes of a lot of this design work because I think we'll be bringing a lot of really cool and much needed improvements here to our users. So super excited. So thanks for listening, and we're looking forward to delivering a fantastic 17.0. Bye.